Hey, wanna hear all about a video game you probably had no idea existed until 5 seconds ago? Great! This is Alter Ego by Future Games. Yup, the same developer as Black Mirror 1. It was also their last game, so don't get your hopes up. Let's go!
When you're caught by seasickness on a long voyage, it's not that bad. When you're caught as a stowaway, it's much worse.
Just you wait. We'll be in Plymouth in no time, and the Port Patrol will have you sent straight to jail. A filthy cell for a filthy criminal. That's fair, isn't it?
Move yourself! I can't waste all day on you! Get up, quick!
What a hospitable welcome. A man of the law who doesn't even care that the sailor has robbed me. My greatest sorrow is for my medallion, the only memory of my parents.
Come on, move!
If the orphanage in Nace taught me anything, it was to take care of myself. This officer doesn't look like he fancies a swim.
Damn it!
The White Beast is dead. The dead body of young Sir William Arthur Lewis, infamous as the White Beast, was found in the early hours of this morning by his servant. A doctor who examined the body confirmed natural, though sudden, death. The date of the funeral has not yet been announced, probably because of safety measures. During his short life, Sir William was accused of many different crimes. None of them have ever been proven.
Well, yeah, the subtitles are kinda halfway there. The sound effects are bizarre and don't really fit. The animation, equally bizarre. The graphics are fine, still too early to talk about the vibes. Well, let's see how to get out of here. We get this spike from this thingy, a brick from the wall, and then smash this great lock. And now we're in a soap workshop, laundry. Also there's creepy music playing for no reason. And right away we can see that our guy is extremely picky.
I'd rather go around naked than with this on.
We check the attic out, coming face to face with this woman, Emily. She doesn't care about the police, so she'll let us stay here for a while. Also, us being extremely ripped helps. Tim, our guy, is flirting with her, but his inner dialogue is so annoying. He's a thief, and he's always like, I need to get her eating out of the palm of my hand. Who does she think she is? Blah 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 blah. Like, shut up, please. Also, his voice actor is not good. I'm pretty sure they just got the person who could do the accent, and like, there were no other qualifications for the job, you know what I mean? I hope he gets better later, but I have no hope. Anyways, we help Emily by fixing the washing machine and mixing the soap with the water. Now we have soapy handcuffs that slip off easily. Emily gives us some clothes and then tells the cops to shove it. Now our guy is starting to like her. I still don't like you, Tim. We now psychologically manipulate her to go and seduce the sailor who stole our medallion and lure him here so we can take it back. And meanwhile, we have to do her work. And this guy won't shut up about not wanting calloused hands and hating work. Please shut up. I am begging you. Soon, Emily comes back, telling us that the sailor is outside. We lure him to this bench using cigarettes and then knock him out by throwing our handcuffs on his head. And now we get our medallion and our cap back. Inspecting the cap closely, Tim expresses relief that Brian's letter is still there. Let's see what it's about.
Dear Tim, you know writing is not my strong point, so I'll get right to the subject. You were right. Leaving Longery wasn't a good idea. I miss the old times and I'm in a bit of trouble. When we last met, you talked about America. I thought you were insane, but I've changed my mind. You're just a fool who let me leave. But if you still mean it seriously, I'm coming with you. I can't miss the crack. You sly fox. There'll be women everywhere. Today is the 28th of October 1894. In precisely 3 weeks, a boat leaves for the New World, and we'll be on it. You can find me every evening sitting in a pub called the Salted Cheek. Don't make me wait too long. Good luck, and come quickly, Tim. You know I'm not patient. Brian.
Emily helpfully tells us how to get to the Salted Cheek, but it seems like the place has a really rotten reputation.
Funeral of the White Beast. The number of protests is increasing over the funeral of Sir William in the graveyard, where the victims of his supposed murders lie. Police precautions and reinforced patrols are expected. The death of the White Beast is widely regarded as a divine intervention. But some people are afraid that he has not left the game yet. The request for immediate cremation of his body was vigorously rejected. According to traditions, Sir William will be buried in the family tomb. God save the Queen and all of us.
Okay, Sir William, what's up with you? Damn, what a bright place. No one knows anything, we have no money, the police is going crazy because people are crazy because of Sir William's funeral, and now we have to play dice with this guy. We steal some money, order a drink. And then ask the waitress about Brian. But then duty calls, and this weird guy follows her down there. Not so fast, creep.
Hey mate, this isn't necessary. Is that so? I have my pals here. Do you know what they'll do with you? You mean this?
Why do these people not move their lips when they're talking and then move them when they're not talking? Anyways...
I'm here, boss.
Yeah, I see. What were you doing there for so long?
Sorry, Jack. The tramp from the pub kept me.
Forget about girls for today. Police are everywhere. I don't need any eager roundsmen snooping around after you.
The bitch has run away.
I don't care. Round up the others. Tell them Adieu Jack needs them. We've some work at the cemetery.
But Chief, adieu. Why can't we do a normal job for once? Rob a bank, kill someone, whatever.
You don't like something about it? Shall I find someone else?
Nah. Everything's okay. I just thought, because of the other men, you know they're cowards.
We'll meet there in an hour.
Huh, grave robbers? Okay. On to finding out about Brian.
I'm under no illusions about why you did that, but you should know what happened to Brian.
I bet he's in a jam again.
If you want to see him, he's at the cemetery.
What? How did it happen?
Oh, you think he ain't dead, you fool?
Oh damn, don't do this to me, girl. So what's up with him?
He had to get out. Police made a radio. Why do you think the atmosphere is as somber as it is? Everybody with a black conscience vanished, and Brian did too.
It's a bit of a madhouse here, but I don't care about local gossip. The police can go to hell. What did you say about the cemetery?
It's really near. Take the left from here and you'll see the church steeple straight away. Go there. He said you'll be looking for him.
Oh, great. As if he didn't know I hate cemeteries.
Oh, is he with the grave robbers or... Checking the graveyard out. There's a dog we need to take care of before climbing over the gate. There's also a gas leak over here and... Okay, maybe trying to ring the bell first.
Who's bothering me this time? I'm coming!
Talking to him, we find out that he wants a pocket watch back from the dice guy. So let's play. What skill is even there in playing dice? So we complain to the manager. Well, the guy and the pocket watch are now gone, but we get his knife, which allows us to get some meat and a piece of rope from the cellar. The gravedigger is obviously furious that we didn't get his watch, so we have to find another way to get in. Just need to tie the piece of meat to the gas lamp and yeah, I'm so sorry. Let's hope he only passed out.
We don't need no education.
Oh my god. You jackass. I thought you were dead.
Well, he might be alive, but I'm not sure his arm is.
I knew I could rely on you. Nonetheless, you should be glad it's quiet today. Adieu Jack wouldn't niggle with us, you can trust me. You won't know him. He's a real butcher, the leader of a local gang. The cemetery's their territory, but they've already cleaned it twice this week, so they won't bother today.
That's it. He was going to launch another crackdown.
Are you sure?
Absolutely. He was talking to a brainless gorilla. He told him to get hold of the others and that they'd meet in an hour.
And when was that?
They're already late.
Damn. Come on, we're out of here. It's not worth the risk.
Why, in the name of the 19th century, is this place so bright? So we run away with Brian, and why does this guy keep saying that he hates physical work when he's jacked?
13th of November, 1894. I don't know which good fairy is with me, but the resolution of the drowned dressmaker's case has opened a new door for me. A transfer, my own office in Plymouth, and possible promotion. I hope this will be a good start to a successful career. The 13th of November. Fortunately, I'm not superstitious.
Oh, we're now playing as the guy that was talking just now. Inside, we see that the working girl from the salted cheek is in trouble with the police for throwing up on a police officer. Jeez. While the officer checks our documents, did she just pick my pocket? There's some problem with our documents and yeah, she pickpocketed our other very important documents. I don't wanna help the detective though. This guy has such a superiority complex, I just want him to rot. But yeah, we have to progress the story with him. And then I find out that I'm kinda stuck. All I can do is walk around and talk to these three, so what? Should I wait outside to see if it's a time thing? Of all the things from Black Mirror, did the devs really have to keep the waiting around one? Gonna brush my teeth, BRB. Okay, let's go back in. Turns out we have to look at them, so it's the infamous right click that's back. Well, now everything's settled. I really hate this guy. The only thing he loves more than the law is his ego. When it involves that, the law can shove it. Are these devs just incapable of creating at the very least tolerable characters? Well, here we are, our new office. While cleaning up, we get a phone call.
Good day, sir. What can I do for you? I see. St. Patrick's Church. I understand, sir. I'll set off immediately. All right? I'll take someone with me, as you wish.
Before we leave to investigate though, we ask the officer about the safe combination, and he gives it to us. In the safe, we find this wooden case, containing a magnifying glass, tweezers, and a paintbrush. Thanks for the gift, Inspector, or whatever. Why are there so many ranks and different names for things? It's impossible to remember. Off to the church now, Sergeant Carter is coming with us. I think this is the moment to say that the atmosphere ain't atmosphering. Like, this place looks nice, I guess, but where's the soul of it? Anyways, following the vicar, he leads us to the place where we heard the scream yesterday. The door has been forced open, the vicar having noticed it this morning. He goes off to fetch the gravedigger, and we quickly check the inside of the tomb, but...
Detective Briscoe! You must see this, Detective Briscoe! Ah, there you are. Something terrible has happened. You have to see. Look at this. Such a disaster.
Do you know who he was?
Mr. Talbot, the gravedigger.
Of course he's dead. Inspecting the body, our guy tells us that the throat slash looks like the gravedigger was mauled by a bear, even if the graphics make it look like a nasty rash at worst. Checking out the place with the drawers. I'm so sorry, doggy.
A broken spine. Someone jumped on him from a great height.
Okay, wasn't me. We pull out a piece of cloth from the dog's teeth and notice that there's no sign of a struggle around. Yeah, maybe he was kinda drowsy because of some gas leak or something. Let's take a better look at the original reason for our visit. There's an empty coffin here and what do you think? Vampire or Frankenstein situation? Talking to the vicar, we find out that our predecessor was the one who investigated all the accusations against Sir William. That's why he asked for Inspector Locksley specifically.
The damaged tomb. Does it belong to a significant family?
Significant? Not significant. Rather cursed.
Excuse me. What do you mean?
Exactly what I am saying. The Lewis family, one of the oldest families in the whole town, was once highly respected. But when Sir William was born, the last heir, it seemed God turned away from them. And if not God, the townspeople certainly did. Nobody could bear to look at his lifeless face. Even yesterday, at the funeral, the coffin was kept closed during the whole ceremony.
Wait a minute. I need to make this clear. The damaged tomb belongs to the deceased's family, the one whose funeral was held just yesterday.
Precisely. We placed Sir William Lewis's lifeless body in his tomb in the dead of night.
Leaving the sergeant to stand guard, we go back to the station to inform the chief inspector, but he's out right now, so we're gonna blindly snoop around. Going back to the graveyard, we find this journalist trying to get in. We talk to him and get nothing.
Hip hip hooray.
Next to this monument to the plague, we find a cigarette butt. Are you fucking kidding me, Inspector? This means nothing. I can go on a 10-minute walk and see 75 cigarette butts. But we're gonna go with this evidence and ask the sergeant about it.
Sergeant, you told me you smoke sometimes. How much would this kind of cigarette cost?
Oh, let me see. Well, hand-rolled, that's nothing unusual. It depends on the tobacco, you know. This one, for instance, smells very good. No one rolls a cigarette in a hurry, sir. It takes time to prepare the whole thing, sir. It's something like a ritual of killing time, sir.
Also, the vicar confirms that Sir William was a monster.
Is it true, what's said about Sir William?
You mean that Sir William was a beast and a monster? Yes, that is true. When he was born, it was as if he wasn't one of God's creations. He had a totally lifeless face. And those eyes.
Tell me, how did his family cope with it?
It was very difficult, especially for his mother. She just could not bear it. And eventually the strain was such that she took her own life. We had to bury her on the gallows hill.
And what about his father?
He disappeared the night when all the servants left the mansion. And then only William remained with Lady Miriam, his grandmother.
All this just because he had a disfigured face?
No, of course not. When he grew older, strange stories began to be told about him. Once, it was a dead cat in his arms. Once, he was found sitting next to a dead horse. And whenever a maid disappeared, you can easily guess whose work it was said to have been. At that time, his father was still alive and kept the estate together, but that was not to last. The servants revolted, set the house on fire, and fled. His father vanished, and only ruins remained. A sad and tragic story.
Checking back outside, the journalist has gone away. Yeah, right. We run after him, but he escapes, leaving behind these glass shards, which I think are like the grandfathers of photo negatives, but I only know that because of this prehistoric glass negative my mom found at her church. I don't think this is common knowledge. Anyways, other than that, we light this thing to see that no Lewis male lived to turn 40, grab this diamond from the ground, and this detective just will not shut up about the cigarette. Well, back to the station to talk to our superior.
Good day, sir. I have several reports. The tomb of a noble family has been destroyed, but that is not the worst part at all. The body of the deceased Sir William has probably been stolen, and... Exactly, sir. The coffin is empty. Yes, sir, I'm totally aware it is not an ordinary robbery, but I have even more news. The gravedigger was murdered. I'm afraid an intrusive journalist managed to take a picture of the gravedigger's corpse. I don't know how it happened, but we should be ready to face certain results. Of course, I realize that my career depends on that. That's why I'm asking you to entrust the case to me. I won't disappoint you, sir. You can trust me. Thank you very much for your confidence. Goodbye.
With Brian, you never know what's going to happen. He said a deluxe place. It'll be the same with money. I bet he has none.
We wake Brian up and talk about the money to get to America, and he tells us about the job he got.
What kind of job? I want to know everything about it.
I look after horses for a fella who wants to get to his father's vault. He doesn't dare do it himself. You know these aristocrats. We agreed I'll bring him those papers and he'll pay for it.
That sounds good, but maybe too good. What do you know about him?
And don't you dare try to stop me, Tim. Just try to imagine what could be inside that vault.
No, Brian, it's okay. We'll do this together, like we used to.
Now you sound like the good old Tim. I knew you'd go with me.
How are you going to do that? Robbing a vault isn't easy.
The plan is as follows. Well, we'll simply go there, be quiet, and get in somehow. Then we'll find the vault, take all the stuff, and get out. Easy.
I might have guessed it would end up like that. Give me the address. I'll take a look around.
Whoa, what a friend Brian is. We check the house out, go back to Brian for help with distracting the gardener, and now we're inside and need to get the house key. Somehow. We steal this wine bottle, stuff the cork into the keyhole of the cellar, and now we can pretend that we're this maid's knife and shining armor, and now we have the imprint of the keys on the candle we found earlier. She also tells us that supposedly there's a secret entrance to the cellar from the study. And then we go off without actually fixing the door for her. Not suspicious at all, Tim. By the way, these two keep bickering about who did the most for their little scheme. You guys know that you're doing something illegal, right? Maybe put some effort in so you're not arrested?
When I'm staring at the ceiling, not able to fall asleep, I wonder whether it was such a good idea to flee to Plymouth. Maybe I'm just kidding myself about America. I guess it's the same mess there as it is here. But if I don't get there, or at least try to, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. I simply have to do it, no matter who I have to rob. Those fat cats on Paradise Street were robbing others so they could live like pigs in clover. Now they'll be the ones robbed instead.
Oh, don't pretend you're doing this as some sort of Robin Hood action. We sneak in, but there's a servant with a gun on the terrace. I wonder why. So we have to go through the secret cellar passageway. We find this page about crossbows under the guy's pillow, so it must be important. And Brian finds a weird box of tobacco that doesn't open. There are some crossbows in the study, so let's try to find the book the page belongs to.
I can't believe it. It was under my very nose all the time. Damn old codger. He carved the inside of the book to hide this.
Alright, progress! Something in the floor clicked, and this guy won't shut up about the chess pieces, so we rotate the table and boom!
You can lick my shoes, Brian. I found the vault.
Well, we need a code. Time for the last thing that we have, the tobacco box. We smash it with the wine press and there it is.
What are you doing here? Who are you?
Tom.
A thief! Help!
They already know we're here, but they can't see us.
I'll block the door. It might keep them back. It won't hold there for long, but still, better than nothing.
Open the door immediately. We know you're there. I will count to 3, then I will break down the door.
Hey, pal. Let's get out. They're here.
Take the documents, quickly. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, the show is over. And what about the old geezer?
I don't care.
You killed him?
No.
Let's meet outside. Go!
Hold still. This is the police. Hands up, quick.
This is the end. I have no chance.
We've already got your pal. Keep your hands up and don't try to pull any tricks.
Gentlemen, I'm yours.
November 1894. A brutal murder. What are the police concealing about Mad William's funeral? Why was the tomb entrance opened? What beast ripped apart the local gravedigger's body? Read on as we expose another public scandal. The beast is alive and wants blood. When the idle police are doing nothing, the time is right for hunting.
We're back with the detective and blah 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 haven't found anything out yet. We look at the piece of cloth we got from the dog's teeth and it seems like it's high quality material. We call the mortuary to remind them to send us the post-mortem report. And here's something interesting.
But as I'm already talking to you, I have one more question. Did you perform the post-mortem on Sir William's body? Ah, I see. His body was examined by the family doctor who also signed the death certificate. Do you know where I could find him? I need to talk to him. Inspector Lockley? I heard about him. He was my predecessor. Definitely, he might have some notes, but I've not found anything yet. Anyway, thank you for the advice. Goodbye.
Huh. Let's check out the archives. There might be something Locksley left behind there. There's a promising trunk, but the shelf above it is about to collapse, so we have to find something to hold it up. We also find plaster here, but it needs water for the mixture, so keep that in mind. Yeah, the station doesn't have a bathroom apparently. While searching for something, we inspect the coffin lid more closely, only to find fragments of fingernails on the inside. That means that Sir William must have been alive at the time of the burial. The priest gives us the address to the Lewis estate, but the maid doesn't want to open the door for us unless we have a warrant card. Ugh, damn bureaucracy. Isn't this the same maid as the other house we just tried to rob? Anyways, the lady of the house won't speak to anyone in person, but if she wants to speak to us, she'll call. While we wait, we check out this painting here, noticing this ring. It's the same red diamond we found in the tomb.
Good day, madam. Detective Sergeant Briscoe, at your service. May I ask then whether it is true that... I'm sorry, madam, but I have to ask questions, unfortunately. I understand people are superstitious, but I'd never expect Father Morgana to be against a burial. Cremation was unthinkable. I can imagine how difficult it must have been for you. I understand, and I don't want to nag at you. So far, it's enough. Thank you for your time.
Oh, what a waste of time. Looking around the house... yes, there is a fountain. No, we can't take water from it. Looking around... yes, there is a well. No, we cannot take water from it. Looking around the house, we see William's dog. Maybe it can recognize his smell also. We convince the maid to let us borrow it and give her the diamond to show to Lady Miriam. And now we can look in the drawer she was standing in front of. There's William's gloves and his diary. It seems like he was selling his property off bit by bit, but the detective doesn't say anything else about it. Anyways, back to the dog. We show it the gloves and it leads us to the canal. So it asks Carter to check it out. Sorry. Here we also find a second sample of cloth. Since we're here... oh.
You know, your strange piece has the opposite effect on me. I think you're quite pleased that Sir William is no longer in your way. I know you are absolutely against the funeral. Tell me, what is it like to bury a mass murderer and a monster?
That is none of your business, detective. Your questions insult me.
To bury a monster against your will insulted you as well. For things did not turn out as you wished, so you found your own way to deal with the problem. You had the motive, the opportunity, and no alibi.
Are you arresting me?
No, not yet. But I will return soon, and I'll be glad if I won't have to search for you then.
What? This detective is so stupid. Anyways, I found this wooden stake earlier. It's probably good enough to hold the shelf up for a little while. Now we can search through the suitcase and find papers, newspapers, a false scent. I guess it's not really useful, at least not right now. Oh wait, there's some notes about the family doctor with his phone number. We also get the autopsy report from the officer at the desk, but it's what we already know. He bled to death because of the slashed throat, like it was caused by claws, definitely not by a knife, and there are no signs of bites either. Let's call the doctor now.
Good day, Mrs. Stewart. Detective Inspector Briscoe speaking. I need to talk to your husband. It's urgent. Missing? For how long? Please, calm down. You should stay at home. Maybe he will return. Please, if he does, tell him to call me as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
No, yeah, he's dead. In our office, we look at the second piece of cloth under the microscope, and wouldn't you know it, it's identical to the first one we found in the dog's mouth. So we check Sir William's journal for his tailor's address. The tailor looks scared, so we go and talk to him.
Forgive me, but you look as though you've seen death himself.
Not at all. I'm just in the shop all day long. Just needed a break, that's all.
I can understand that. A man needs to relax.
Exactly.
To sit down for a while, put one's feet up.
Yes, yes.
Have a cigarette and maybe read the papers.
Yes. Everybody has that right. Do you want to arrest me for having a break?
No, of course not.
So would you do me a favor and don't ask me such rubbish?
Scrub, scrub, scrub. Sister Minnie in the top.
She says, if you sing, death I will bring.
I found your papers. I think the article about Sir William scared you.
This morning, I found the shop door open. Nothing was missing, so I forgot it. But then I read the article and put two and two together. You get it?
Do you think it was Sir William? Why would he bother? He's dead.
I'm not so sure.
Perhaps you just forgot to lock the door.
No. I locked myself out once, so since then I always have a spare key. I have a nice hiding place by the fountain, see? Nobody has touched that key.
I can call my people in here if you want.
No. Don't worry about it. You already have enough trouble.
The man is hiding something. He's obviously afraid of something.
We then show him the pieces of cloth, and it's Indian silk from an Indian scarf. And apparently one of the pieces has a lighter shade than the other. I kinda doubt that because we looked at it under the fucking microscope and didn't notice anything, and he looks really nervous, but hey. And yep, Sir William had 3 of those. We now ask the priest about the missing doctor, but he freaks out and doesn't want to answer, so we show him the nails because like, hey, this doctor kinda sucks if he let a person be buried alive, but he doesn't want to believe it. Precisely at that point, the sergeant arrives, telling us that the doctor's body has been discovered in the river. Here I end up checking on the crime scene again, and there's a footprint, so we'll come back to this later, as well as the priest, who has something to confess to us. The body has the same wound on the neck, and it seems like he didn't bleed. Okay, so vampire? On to the priest's confession.
You saw something that night, am I correct?
No, but I heard something. There was a fight. Someone was screaming. I was mad with fear. I closed the door and blocked my ears. I prayed out loud to deafen the rampage outside.
Is this all you wanted to tell me?
No. Earlier on, at the funeral, I saw something. Perhaps it is not important, but Dr. Stewart surely argued with Lady Miriam. I had the impression he wanted to look into the coffin, but the lady refused.
So you think he wanted to make sure that Sir William is truly dead?
Yes, it makes sense.
That explains why Dr. Stewart did not come home after the funeral. His conscience troubled him, and he obviously paid for it.
This story is kinda going too slow for any of the revelations to have an impact, but onwards we march. We make plaster mixture from water from the canal and make a cast of this footprint and then this other one we find in front of the church. Yeah, apparently filthy sewer water is the only one suitable for plaster mixture. The more you know. Now we go taunt Lady Miriam like, haha, not only did I figure out who the family doctor was, he's also dead. And that makes her call us again. Let's hope for something useful this time.
Exactly. Mr. Stewart, your family doctor, is dead. When was the last time you saw him? I have a witness to your argument. Did he ask you for another examination of Sir William's body? It wasn't nonsense, as you think, Lady Lewis. I found evidence that Sir William, your grandson, still lived. Actually, he was buried alive. Madam, Lady Lewis, are you all right? Miss, hurry to your lady. Take her a glass of water or something stronger.
Oh my goodness, Lady Miriam!
Her reaction was convincing. Pity I had to tell it to her in such a way. But I needed to make sure she has nothing to do with the case.
Well, alright, we have ruled the suspect out. I'm gonna tell you something, I really wish I could access this map from any screen. Anyways, back at the station.
Detective, you'll like this.
What happened, officer?
Patrol who sent for that journalist is back.
Do they have him?
They don't, unfortunately. Wouldn't his printer be enough for now? He's in custody.
It's not a bad idea.
Well, look what the cat brought in. We have nothing to tell him right now, though. We interrogate the print worker, but he's like, I'm just a print worker, I don't know anything. At this point I get stuck, and after a while I realize that I forgot to put the glass negative back together to see what the picture was. The detective says that there's something weird about it, so we should compare the angle of the camera to the picture.
Damn journalist, tricking me like that. The angle of the camera's view doesn't match the photo in the papers that he definitely took yesterday. He was here before us. Then he played a little trick to disguise how he got those pictures. Mr. Nathaniel Forrest might be behind all this. Murders and gossip every day.
Oh, then why did he play this little charade and not just stay quiet? Like, if he didn't show his face, it would be chalked up to, those damn journalists. But, yeah, back to the print worker.
Maybe you know I met Mr. Forrest yesterday morning at the cemetery. Do you know what surprised me? The photographs in the papers do not match the angle of the camera position. Strange, isn't it? No, he didn't have that much time. I'm sure he managed one shot at the most. He was there first, and then he put on a little show to make a fool out of me.
That's not how it went.
How did it go, then? What would Mr. Forrest be capable of doing just to keep the public's attention? Confess, how many murders are you responsible for?
None! That's just rubbish. Oh my god, I haven't killed anybody!
It doesn't matter anymore. The prosecution will have a different opinion. Think about it. Did you want to talk to me?
Yes. I want to tell you everything I know. Back then, Nate really was at the cemetery before you. Someone had sent him a message early that morning. Probably one of his informants. He has them all over the place.
Who is his informant? I have to check this.
You ask him. Just before the patrol came, he got another message.
What a coincidence, right? Where did he go then?
Wilson Street. Some tailor's shop or something.
Actually, I wanna know what Tim has to do with any of this. But onto the tailor shop. We get the spare key from the fountain, unlock the door, and...
I didn't get it at first, but now I know that something's going on outside. Why else would they put 2 people into a cell with only 1 bed? I think I know what's coming next. A close questioning, quick trial, and a speedy ride to the clink. When the detective came, I thought he came because of me, but I was wrong. He squeezed the poor wretch so much that he almost shit his pants. I bet he's never been in prison before. Maybe I could get some information from him too. I'd really like to know what's going on here.
We're now back with Tim and have a nice chat with the printer.
So do you happen to have something to read at least, to kill the time?
All right, here you are. But keep quiet, otherwise I'll clamp down on you.
Thank you. What? Brutal murder? What are the police concealing about Mad William's funeral? Why was the tomb door broken? What kind of a beast would tear the gravedigger's body? Damn. It was at the same cemetery where I met Brian. Is it true about the beast?
Sure it is. Every single word. The public has to know what's going on, although the police are blind.
I was at the cemetery that night. It must have happened right after I left.
You should be glad you're here. These bars might stop him.
Who?
The White Beast, who else? He's hungry as hell. If you were there, he knows it, and he's gonna get you. He'll sniff you out, trust me.
Okay then. But how can I use the situation to my advantage? I was there that night, and I know something the police have no idea about. Maybe I could negotiate a shorter sentence with them.
What is he gonna tell the detective though? I heard the scream, saw the gravedigger alive at around this hour. So what?
Damn. What if the printer didn't lie? That nonsense. I'm going crazy because of the long wait.
Get up. Somebody wants to talk to you.
Enter.
Prisoner Timothy Moore at your command, sir.
Send him here. Take his handcuffs off and wait at the door. So, what did you want to tell me?
Well, first of all, I'd like to know whether we can make a deal. If the information I have will help you, I want a shorter sentence.
Is that what you want? All right. I promise I'll put in a good word for you with the judge. I can't promise anything more.
I'll tell you exactly how everything happened. You'll learn why I went to the cemetery that night and what I saw there.
What a nice fairy tale. Can you prove it somehow?
My friend Brian is imprisoned here too. Ask him about Adieu Jack. I'm not lying, detective. I'm really telling you the truth. I swear on my life.
All right. I will try to find this Jack. You can go back to your cell now.
Oh, okay, Adieu Jack. He hasn't been mentioned since the beginning of the game, so I had forgotten about him.
We have Adieu Jack. Your accomplice cooperates with us willingly too, but we now need a favor from both of you.
Go on.
Jack doesn't want to speak. We can't get a single word out of him. I want you to find out what happened at the cemetery after you ran away. Your transport to the prison will be here in an hour. You will all be together. You, Brian, and Jack. You will share the cell, so you'll have plenty of time to make him trust you. I'll come to see you tomorrow around noon. By that time, you should already know something.
Ooh, I don't like this.
Enter. What do you want?
The prisoners have escaped.
It was horrible. 2 people had to die so that we could be free. I still can't get it out of my mind. Jack pretended to be in pain so the coachman stopped the coach. He killed him with his bare hands. I have no idea how he did it. After that, he took us to a place where we drank all night. At least I think so. I have a terrible headache, and I'm stiff. And the worst thing is that I don't have the slightest idea where I am.
We try to warm around, but Jack appears with this other guy, injects us with something, and then the other guy tells Jack to bury us under the gallows. Okay, so that's Sir William? Well, we're in a coffin. We break out of it like Beatrix Kiddo in Kill Bill and hurry to save Brian, but he's already dead. In the suitcase here... I'm sorry, I just don't care enough. Actually, I kinda dislike all of these characters to even pretend that I'm fazed about his death. In this suitcase here, we find out that Jack smokes too much and that he rolls his cigarettes with leaflets from the abandoned theater we were just at. So the plan is, get a priest for Brian, find a theater, and profit? Oh, we're still in the city. So we go to the cemetery to ask the priest for help, but he doesn't want to go with us, alone, to Gallows Hill in the middle of a stormy night. Come on, Father, where's your sense of adventure? So we distract him by putting a rotten egg in the holy water and then steal this crucifix to put in Brian's coffin. It's the least we can do. Actually, Tim says it's the least I can do, but like, that's the most you can do. You can't, like, hold the priest at gunpoint and force him to perform a ceremony. You're already doing a lot. Back to the city, we can now go back to the laundry and Emily isn't angry at us anymore.
When I see her, I realize something has changed. I have changed.
Is the change in the room with us right now? She tells us where the old theater is and...
Blast, somebody got ahead of me. I have to follow him quickly. Where's he gone to? My God, isn't that the bastard who beat me up in the pub? Yeah, it's him. He was surprised from behind. Enjoy the eternal dreams. Everybody who was at the cemetery that night is dead. I'm the only one left, but nobody knows I'm still alive. Damn, he must have had a hidden boat. I'll go ahead and see how far I can get by foot.
Oh, this place is slightly interesting, but we can't go any further, and are only here for like 18 seconds. So we see that Jack's body is holding a scarf that he probably ripped off Sir William's face. But just then...
At last, Mr. Moore. Are you surprised to see me?
Oh, damn.
I'm not going to arrest you, Mr. Moore. I could have done that back there in the church. You aren't careful enough. I've come to settle the debt.
I don't owe you anything.
Yes, you do. We made a deal, but you betrayed me. You escaped and murdered. You don't belong in jail, Mr. Moore. You'll end up on the gallows.
Jack did it. We couldn't do anything.
Stop the lies. This is going nowhere. We'll leave it for now.
What are you going to do?
I thought I could simply shoot your kneecaps and leave. Where's your friend?
Brian's dead. I was chasing Jack to avenge his death.
And you succeeded, as I can see.
No, I didn't do that. Jack tricked us. He got us drunk, then he tied us up and then brought some stranger in. He called himself the Night Rider or something like that. He told Jack to get rid of us, and from that point on, I can't remember anything. I woke up in a coffin. Brian wasn't so lucky. If you really want to put me back in jail, then you'd be better shooting me dead.
Just to make it clear, Mr. Moore, first of all, I'm not a policeman any longer. And another point, we probably have a common enemy. I wouldn't do such a thing under normal circumstances, and yes, I would kill you, but things have changed. If you want to find that person, I might help you. Think about it. We'll meet in the church, and we can discuss the rest later.
Here's his plan. He gets us a ticket and safe travel to America if we help him save his ass from the trial against him. We're worried about this Night Rider, who is the guy with the scarf I thought was Sir William, and show him the leaflet of the theater, and he realizes that it's the cigarette paper.
The cigarette? I've been wondering for a long time who smokes cigarettes wrapped in a leaflet.
It was definitely adieu, Jack.
Yes, now it is perfectly clear. However, this means he had been waiting for someone at the cemetery gate before he robbed the tomb. Someone must have hired him.
The Night Rider? The man I saw at the canal?
I think it is more than certain.
We then show him the scarf, and oh my god, it's the same Indian silk as the pieces of cloth. The detective sends us to try and get the account book from the tailor shop. And yeah, we have no other choice. Okay, cutting corners towards the end of the game, I see. Probably the most video game move ever.
There's a pretty big mess in the workshop. I think somebody's been searching for the same thing I was. I'm more experienced and talented, you know. I have it here. The account book at your request, Mr. Briscoe. I've always loathed police informers. Cooperating with the police is as bad as murder. But when I see how eagerly this detective is working, I'm glad we're in this together. He even bought a map of the sewers, and we found the place where I had lost the Night Rider. If we knew where he went, then we could find his hideout. Briscoe came out with something again. He read through a notebook and looked really assertive. I'm sure he's found something. So tell me, Detective, what did you find out?
The account book really helped me. Have you ever heard of Lord Gismond?
No, I'm not from around here.
Neither am I. Father Morgana helped me with it. Lord Gismond is an old oddity. He travels out. Sometimes he disappears for several months, and when he comes back, he shocks the locals with a new eccentricity. They tolerate him only because he is very rich and old. I found his name in the account book and in Sir William's diary. They had several appointments together. Lord Gismond bought grounds from him for more than reasonable prices.
He definitely didn't care how much he paid. He's rich enough.
Nor did he care for the grounds. Maybe he just wanted to buy Sir William's favour.
But isn't it strange? Why would the old man need him? I can think of only one reason, but it's pretty perverse. But how's that related to the Night Rider and all the murders?
I don't know yet. But the location of Gismond's mansion is very interesting. It's located near the place where you lost sight of the Night Rider.
That would be too lucky a coincidence. But an old man couldn't do that. You saw what he did to Jack, didn't you?
I don't claim Lord Gismond did it. It could have been Sir William. His body has not been found, and remember what I already told you? He was buried alive. Who knows how it changes a person? He just might be the murderer. We have to check it out.
Yeah, you mean I have to check it out?
Exactly. I will get a boat and we'll meet at the canal crossroad in an hour.
The priest leads us to an entrance to the sewers, and we're in this cool place again. We have to sail through Tunnel A, look for a hidden dock, see what we can find there, and report back to the detective. Slay, we're here! I'd be so paranoid to have an entrance to the sewers in my basement.
Is it blood?
What does it mean?
Great job, Tim, keep it up. Luckily, the servant is kinda lazy, so we escape. And apparently the servant is the Knight Rider. Anyways, going back up there, we open this secret passageway and find this guy. We get his ring, and it's Sir William. But we gotta hide. The duo is coming back, so we lock ourselves in the freezer.
If somebody was here, he's gone, sir.
Are you sure? What about the cooling chamber?
It's locked, sir. Even an idiot wouldn't shut himself inside willingly. Don't worry, I destroyed all connections leading to you.
Everything has turned out just as we wanted.
Yet somebody was here.
Yes, you're right, but we are finished here anyway. Take another look around and then you can start packing our suitcases.
Just one more question. What are we going to do with our guest?
Oh yes, we cannot leave him here. If they found him, all our work would be for nothing.
I can bury him on Gallows Hill. Nobody will ever look for him there.
Delightful idea. So take care of him as well. But first, our suitcases.
Before worrying about any of that, we have to get out of here. So we grab the salt here, salt the drain cover, pick it up, smash the ice on the cooler valve, turn the valve so it stops cooling, grab the meat here, try to cut it with a big knife. It gets stuck, we salt it to get it unstuck, get this hook, combine the hook with the rope, and lift the lock on the other side. Well, like, we could have just used the rope. This game is full of this kind of stuff, by the way. These unnecessary, unfun puzzles that are just like, okay, padding. Anyways, let's get out of here.
My god, if I survive this, I promise I'll never steal again.
Oh, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
A Knight Rider. Oh, good. I killed Brian's murderer. You sent me into the lion's den, Detective. It was even worse than in your jail.
That was a risk I was willing to take.
Yeah, but I wasn't. If I'd known the Knight Rider was going to attack me with a pistol in his hand, I'd never have stepped onto the boat.
Am I to believe that you killed the Knight Rider? Neither Adieu Jack nor his dog's body managed it, and they were real killers, Mr. Moore. Stop pulling my leg. Now let me think. But don't go anywhere. I want you to stay within my sight.
Well, thanks for trusting me.
Tim is annoying, yes, but this detective who I never even registered the name is even worse. So we show him the ring and he's like, oh my god, Sir William, dude, thank you so much, it's Sir William's ring. So yeah, we're gonna wait at the laundry while he sorts the legal stuff out, and Lord Ginsburg is going to jail.
I hope you have good news for me. How did it go?
Lord Gismond is dead. He found out we're after him and he killed himself.
Bastard. I wanted to see him hang.
The worst thing is he avoided the trial. The whole incident will be silently put aside, and everything will go on as it did before.
Do you know why he did it?
I can only guess. Sir William and Lord Gismond had an almost identical abnormality. It seems they both suffered from the same rare disease.
But that's hardly the reason why they kidnapped him.
Quite the contrary. We found his notes, and also the most remarkable collection of flowers and poisons. As far as I know, he was seeking medicine for his disease, but he was afraid the potions might kill him. He was probably looking for somebody on whom to experiment.
I see. And that somebody would have to have the same disease.
Yet Sir William was not his sole experimental subject. In the walled-up chamber we found other bodies, all of them in an advanced state of decay. That unknown disease must be unique if he had to seek out nobility. When his last prisoner died, he had no other choice than to plan Sir William's kidnap.
That was ingenious. He almost got away with it. No one would have known Sir William's coffin was empty.
I still don't know how he managed to fake his death, but all the other murders must be related to that. The dirty work was the servant's job. His task was probably to get rid of all the witnesses.
And he almost succeeded. But now, it's over.
Not quite. We searched the cellar and found Sir William's body and plenty of other evidence. But the servant is missing.
What? The Night Rider is alive?
Exactly. Or his body was flushed away through the canals. It would be best if you board the first ship. It leaves tonight before midnight. Here are your tickets.
Detective, I still don't get it. The Night Rider was a faithful servant to his master. If he survived, he definitely wouldn't leave Lord Gismond without protection.
Perhaps he came too late. When he found out his master had poisoned himself, he fled.
That's it. The poison wasn't poison at all. You know what I mean? We have to get to him immediately.
Have you gone mad, Moore? Every single policeman is looking for you.
You're not listening to me. Lord Gismond is alive. He played the same trick on you as with Sir William.
How did you find it out?
You wouldn't believe me. But the Night Rider will dig him up and everything will start again unless we intervene.
Leave it to me. Board the ship and be careful. They have your description, so keep yourself hidden.
As you wish, Detective. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Moore.
I have a strange feeling this isn't our last meeting anyway.
Oh, Slay, the tell don't show method of storytelling.
If it's possible, I'd like to forget it all. Simply start a new life. Yeah, that would be great.
Show me your identification papers, sir.
Everything will be okay. The detective will help me out of this. What's taken him so long? He should already be here.
We have a message for you. You shouldn't have escaped from prison and killed policemen, you scum.
Was that the end? At first I was like, oh, I must have gotten the bad ending. But this is a point-and-click adventure. There are no choices to get our ending either. There are no choices to get other endings. That's it. My brother in Christ. I already mentioned the more technical shortcomings of this game. Subtitles and cutscenes being partially cut off, 2010 models that look goofier than their 2003 models, have to go to the edge of the location you are in to be able to use the map, etc. And also about the lack of likable characters and lack of atmosphere, and the weird puzzles. So let's talk about the story. I get the impression that they were going for an extremely intricate narrative, but for that to work, you need a lot of time and a lot of fluff. So names like Sir Ginsburg and then Tim's connection to the whole thing don't come completely out of left field. Alter Ego is only 9 hours-ish long, and whole chunks of this already short time span, considering the story they were trying to tell, are spent breaking into the manor with Tim and Brian, which is completely unrelated. Unless I missed something, the documents never play any role. Like, who was that guy? Was he important? I don't think so. He wasn't mentioned again. Who hired Brian even? If it was a trap to get them arrested and then killed, it's very contrived. A simple change that would make the story more focused and 1,000 billion times better, make the house they're trying to rob belong to Ginsburg. Then Tim and Brian could barely escape by the skin of their teeth, or a neighbor could call the police, and Ginsburg would get on the detective's radar for being extremely reluctant to let the police come into his home. There are just so many red herrings that don't really add to anything. I don't know, man, it's not a very well told mystery. By the way, did Ginsburg buy the Lewis family doctor to pretend that the guy was dead, and then the doctor regretted it, but not really because he didn't tell anyone? I need more details on how the Sir William kidnapping went. Right now it makes no sense at all. And that ending, oof. I imagined that it wasn't supposed to end like that, but cutting corners happened and they had to have that super abrupt ending. I guess I don't have a problem with this rare case of a bad ending in a mystery per se. The problem is just that I didn't really care about the mystery. As I've said, this was Future Games' last game, and yeah, the lukewarm reception is justified. By the way, look at the game cover. First of all, why is the title Alter Ego? Like there's nothing relating to an alter ego anywhere. The title and the two faces make you instantly think of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but it's not that at all. Not in the slightest. And the faces. This is the detective, and even then, I can only tell because of the mustache. His model in the game has these sparkly, on the verge of tears eyes that aren't here. But who is this other guy? Is that supposed to be Tim? Tim looks like a 25-year-old model. This guy is squarely in his 40s and is starting to become an alcoholic. Seriously, who is that? Okay, but are there any positives to this game at all? When you launch it, it opens this setup where you can change the resolution so you won't have to force the game to open windowed or have to pray for it to run. Other than that, not really. I truly believe that in the world of fiction, anything can be forgiven if there's passion in it. And Alter Ego is just a jumble of lukewarm messes. I'm sorry, I just can't believe anyone truly cared about this story or this game at all. Anyways, that was Alter Ego, a handful of scenes that kinda get resolved. Kinda. That's the most I can say about this game. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, blah 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 blah. If you'd like to see a video about a game that's actually good, check out my other videos about games. I usually talk about games that I like. And yeah, I'll make more videos if an anvil doesn't fall on my head. Bye!